flimsy excuses you've given every time when you're invited by the deputies of the people. And so the House of Representatives today held the finance minister in contempt, and there are going to be tougher decisions. Probably one would say either a vote of no confidence or his incarceration at the Monrovia Central Prison. But we cannot say that now. But the Minister of Finance Development Planning, Honorable Brahma Kamara, now faces potential incarceration over contempt charge as the House of Representatives has summoned him to appear on Tuesday, which will be the 2nd of July. So he has been invited on 3 separate occasions.
Given the separation of powers and the 3 distinct branches of the government, I think the finance minister ought to know that there is a contempt charge by the Honorable House of Representatives, and that is consistent with Rule 4 of the rules of the Honorable House of Representatives. So an attempt that obstruct or will obstruct legislative proceedings is tantamount to contempt. So yes, indeed, they have written him time without numbers to appear and address key sensitive matters. You know, the last time the Honorable Speaker spoke about the shutting down of the Honorable House of Representatives if there was no cooperation. Now, you would need the finance minister to ensure that there are proper information surrounding the finances of the country. You cannot have the LRA and other line ministries and agencies of government cooperating. Then the Ministry of Finance is so very, I don't know, but for the lack of words, delinquent in approaching the legislature.
And the 3 branches of government have to be able to coordinate very well. And so the Minister of Finance, along with other officials of government, basically from the Liberia Revenue Authority, LRA, the Commissioner General, Honorable Double Jala, and the LPRC Managing Director, they were all invited to come and provide financial updates on consolidated accounts and bank balances and validate reports from the Liberia Revenue Authority on revenue collection. And so the Commissioner General of the LRA came, he appeared and then spoke in plenary and said, we are performing. Revenue collection is performing, overly performing. So then the speaker said, but how come if we overly performing in terms of collecting revenue, and then how come the Ministry of Finance seem not to be working in concert with the House in terms of getting disbursement and so forth like that? And so that was something of concern. So now that these people appeared, and then the Minister of Finance again wrote, asking for an excuse. This time again, today again, he did not come.
There are the hints. Look, I think the speaker is coming from the backdrop that every financial bill in this country, every financial matter in this country will start with the Honorable House of Representatives.
It's intimated in Article 34 DR.
Yes, so the Minister of Finance should cooperate. There should be no form of flimsy excuses along the way. You are being invited by the deputies of the people.
No business oversee the people of Liberia business. And so now
these are people who were duly elected by their people to represent the interest of them.
Right. And so to say that the IMF people are in town, the IMF people will not be meeting you. Only you want the meeting every time, and you say that because the IMF people in town, you cannot come to the court of the deputies of the people. This is being disrespectful, and that's how the lawmakers say is being disrespectful. And so for that, this gentleman has not come on a contempt. He was to appear today to show cause why he should not be held in contempt.
I need to say that.
And again on today, yes, and again today, he still did not show up. He needed to come along with his legal counsel. He still did not show up in the name of IMF people in town. And so that's why the lawmakers were left with no option but to have him come now on a contempt.
This is a reputable institution, the legislature. But people will say to you that the finance minister in this country, the people who you gave power to go on Capitol Hill to represent you, you stood in the line for them during the sunshine, during the rain time, to put them on Capitol Hill. They have sent for the finance minister, not just 1 time, not 2 times, not 3 times. They say, can let's talk about the financial issue, the money business in the country. Can let's talk about it? We can say to you that the finance minister, he not getting EAA. So today, the people say the reason why you say you can't come here, when you come here now, they get some law in their own law book. They call it contempt. It means we'll hold you responsible for disrespecting us. So the finance minister, the people put that charge on him, and so I care what he do now. He got to go there. If he not go there now,
And it's
then the
such a,
lawmaker now they will look for the other way that they will get him. But on Tuesday, the people say he got to go there.
then
By force.
in that kind of, then they will declare he wanted. And so
Obviously.
now the sergeant at arms now will be able to deliver his living body wherever he is being seen. So, but let's go in the chamber quickly, and then when we come back, we will go to Nimba County to bring district number 4 representative for the great people of Nimba County. He'll be around the table this evening to chit chat on his legislative work, both up Capitol Hill and in his district. But let's go quickly in the chamber to have House Speaker Councillor J. Fonati Kofa on this issue of contempt on the Minister of Finance.
Due process is notice and opportunity to be heard. Yes. The Minister of Finance was notified to come with his lawyer on a contempt charge. Yes. His absence without valid excuse that have been accepted by this body constitutes a waiver of any and all defenses. Thank you. Therefore, this body is about to vote on a contempt of the Minister of Finance and to require that he appear Tuesday of next week for sentencing. Is that the will and pleasure? Yes. The IF did not come to the Minister of Finance. The IF came here, and let's be clear why they are here. They are doing assessment. A judgment will be made in September as to whether or not they will proceed with extended credit facility and put in an IMF. They came here with specific schedule. They didn't come here to the Minister of Finance. They are meeting the central bank. They are meeting the executive. We met with me for 2 hours yesterday. And some of the reasons why we call this Minister of Finance here today is to address some of the very concerns that the reasons why this minister was called was a side issue that the finance which is the illegal renting of loans taking of loans by government. Okay, one of the issues he was called for was that issue. The fact that he chose not to come on 2 occasions, citing the IMF, in the eye of primary was no excuse. You alone cannot overturn that. They say you can fine 5,000, you can declare for no confidence, you can even jail. You have decided to defer that decision to Tuesday when he appeared. So I think I will defer that for the no confidence issue to that Tuesday as part of the sentence. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
Indeed, that's in the chamber, listening to legislators, particularly the voice of our House Speaker, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, there on the contempt of the Minister of Finance Development Planning, Honorable Boyman Kamara. In the studio now, we have a great son of Nimba County, hailing from electoral district number 4, elected on the 10th of October, 2023. He's here with us on this evening. We'll be drilling him through his legislative work. His name is Honorable Ernest Manseah. Of course, very lately doing the West African Examination Council, or WACS examination. His office was very successful in identifying with several students of his district number 4. And so we have him here with us in the studio. Honorable, good evening. How you doing?
Yeah, good evening, and thank you very much for inviting me on your platform at about this time. And thank you to the EABC family for having us. And also thank you to you and your team for the beautiful work by informing the people, the Liberian people, about the work of the legislature.
Okay, so great time here. By the way, I like your suit. You're all in black here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so okay, we have a tradition on the program. This is a public affairs program for the House, bringing the members here to talk about their programs, their policies, their projects, and so forth. So today we have you around the table. You want to greet your people in your vernacular.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you again. Good evening to everyone following us this time. You may know Nimba County, Akpokpo, Mayego District number 4, Tori, Kasadi, Biamakwala, Kabuya.
Oh, welcome.
Yes, wonderful having the lawmaker. And how's the legislature?
Yeah, so we have just started. It's a very beautiful area and also a very challenging, ground. But again, we can't say much right now because we have been, trying to get ourselves adjusted with the proceedings at the level of the plenary and with our colleague. But on the overall, we are trying our best and we are on course.
How did you see the legislature before going in, and how is it now?
Yeah, so before going in, there is this altogether different, perceptions about the legislature and different, assumptions and all of that. But again, when you got there, you have to realize that you have come in a whole country, in a whole system by itself, that you will have to learn as to how things work. And other than that, you will go all of the time with hard feelings. Sometimes you and your colleagues, somebody that you just shook hands with, you will have to clash on issues. Maybe you have maybe different feeling or different opinion on certain national issues. So sometimes you feel like, yeah, somebody's fighting, but I just see that it's just another area again that you have to just, go along.
And you're grabbing along.
Oh, yes. We are going along.
I was about to ask, what sort of feelings do you have given the two sides to the conversation? At a certain point, you are, going to expect people to go your way. At another point, people will not go your way. But what sort of feelings do you have now?
No, what happened is that, like, my first, impression and feeling I have, doing one or two, initial plenary sessions, I felt a little bit disappointed.
Okay.
My disappointment was there is a particular issue that you want to make contribution to. And then when the issue is being raised, only one person is recognized to raise a motion. And once this person raises a motion, whether you want this issue to be discussed on the floor or wherever you want it to be, sometimes the person who raised the motion decides on what happened to the communication.
And that person becomes the movement.
Yeah, the person becomes the movement. So he has now the will to accept, not to accept whatever anybody going to say afterward.
So you don't see it,
that has been my disappointment.
Right. So you don't see it from a point where in the legislature you have to do the lobby with your colleagues. For instance, if you wrote a communication for you to get on the floor and you have to lobby with some of your colleagues for who to give the motion and so forth like that, so that he or she may say, I move if I can get a second. Now this communication be opened up and I will get the pumping in 2 to 3 minutes. When those things are not done, you see that probably it will just go to committee.
Yeah, so like I said, that was my disappointment. But right now, if I got any communication, I know how it's been handled. I will have to pre-communicate with probably maybe a committee that particular communication supposed to go to. I'll have to communicate with my colleagues to make sure that yes, the communication is open or whatever I want it
because
to happen.
That's the point the news come about. Then you hear the people in district number 4 say, "Oh, our lawmakers talking." And you're debating the issue.
Yeah, so when we got there initially, we never had that experience. But then we are getting it done, by our colleagues.
Are you enjoying the gavel of the speaker?
Yes, the gavel of the speaker is very powerful. Sometimes we agree, we disagree, and we agree on issues.
That's legislative politics.
Yeah, so like yesterday, we have a very bitter argument on the issue of the
LPRC,
of the LPRC, and which he had to call me to explain some things, and we agree. We move on.
Given that you've understood the chair or you understood the legislative proceedings, what do we know about you in terms of submission of communications or your participation in legislative debates?
Yeah, so we've been in there for just a little over 4 months now.
Good.
And when I got there, my initial attention was drawn to the president's speech during the
annual message.
Yeah, during the annual message, when he mentioned about the issue of the road from Sanikole to not Bongaple, but Loguatu.
Okay.
So he said there were some fundings that were not that were being held on to by the European Bank, which because the Liberian government were holding up to 600,000 to AU and other institutions, and for that reason, the institution was not able to pay the money to the government. So that got my attention, and I had to write the first that was my first communication.
What sort of communication was it?
So the communication was to invite the Minister of Finance to provide us plan as to the government plan in handling this issue, this situation, and right away we were provided some explanation, and gracefully it was before the passage of the budget. During the passage of the budget, there was some allocation made, in this regard. My next advocacy have been on the issue of the labor sector in this country.
What's about the labor sector?
Most especially in the concession areas. Many a times we have these big concessions in the country, in the mining, in the agriculture, in the forestry sector, and then you got our people benefiting little or none. And the idea of giving concessions agreement incentives to concessionaires is for those people to provide jobs opportunity for our people, and which some of those concessions you don't see it happening. So my concern was drawn to that, which I wrote a communication to the plenary to make sure that we mandate the Minister of Labor to do a comprehensive review or a profile audit of those quote-unquote expatriates that have been brought in the country. If there is any specific skill they have that we cannot find those same kind of skill in Liberia. So that communication was assigned to the committee on labor, and that investigation is ongoing. And the speaker has set up a general committee, again, a specialized committee to review all concessions agreement across the country. So we are waiting for the.
Is that the one that Honorable Manseah has ability to chair?
Yes, the one that Honorable Manseah has ability is chairing currently.
Are you satisfied with how issues of the country are being channeled legislatively, void of the way you saw decision making in the country when you were outside of the legislature? Do you think that is the best proceeding, that you as a lawmaker would champion the cause of the people and you find some redress?
Yes, to some extent, every system has its own advantage and disadvantages.
Okay.
The way our issues are been handled in this country through the legislature in terms of maybe passage of bill, makings of law, concession agreements. Sometimes there are some advantage about it. Sometimes too there are some disadvantage about it. Take for example, signing a concession agreement. Everything is done almost at a capital building. When the concession agreement is supposed to be in ground crew, and no representative is from the ground crew that has been represented physically, apart from this one single person who comes from the district. So sometimes, there are some disadvantage about it, that the people that those decisions, those very decisions affect, they are not part of the decision making. There are a lot of laws that we have on the book currently in this country. But if you ask people outside there, not many people know about these laws. But yet we made those laws. We say we are the representative of the people, and we have no time to go to our people to explain to them some of those laws.
So what are you doing in that regards?
So what I'm doing, like quite recently, I have my first 100-day report to my district, wherein I took specific attention to the local government act.
Right.
So during that session, I have to report to them first day what we have done in terms of our participation, in terms of communications, and also in terms of community engagement after we got elected. And at the end of the session, I took time to explain to them the issues of the Local Government Act. Because since this law, some people were even surprised to know that there is a law called Local Government Act, that the county inspector is no longer called county inspector, that the development superintendent is no longer called development superintendent,
development officer. And
between now and 2025, you will get almost no city across the country except one county to a city, that every city that is currently apart from the county capital will be declared non and void until you can read a plan. Not many of our people know about this provision.
So you think that some of the legislations you enact, they are not basically explained locally to our people?
Definitely. Majority of those legislation, our people don't know about that.
Then more work needs to be done in that regards.
That is our responsibility.
So when you go to your people in the district, having a town hall meeting with them, you be basically explaining to them, so look, this is this and this is that. We are at the big lawmaking house. These are decisions that we're taking, and this is the adverse effect they're going to have on our people.
Definitely. So, like, I will encourage some of my colleagues that at least within maybe doing a semester period or maybe 6 months, 3 months time, anytime you have the opportunity to go to your people out there, even if that one particular instrument, please try and explain it to the people. It may not be all of the laws that have been passed during this time, but if every single lawmaker can try in a year time and explain at least 3 different laws that have been passed in this country, I know the mindset of our people will change.
Right. Nimba County District number 4, during the debate of this war crimes code, I saw you jitter a little bit. What was your stand on this issue about the war crimes code?
My stand on the issue.
Did you vote?
Yes, I vote.
Okay.
Initially, I vote against the first resolution
Okay.
that was introduced.
Why?
I voted because we never had sufficient time. Just the same issue of lawmaking without consultation to our people. I voted against that because of that. Because that particular time, the resolution has just appeared in our chat room in the night, and then in the morning, it was not even part of the agenda for that day. And then some kind of way we saw a resolution on the floor, and then everybody
Maybe the agenda was amended.
The agenda was not amended. The agenda was not amended.
So the second time did you vote?
So the second time, when the Senate have taken their time to review the matter and made some amendment in the previous, that means in the initial resolution, yes, I voted.
Okay.
I'm concerned, aside from your communications on the floor of the Honorable House of Representatives, are there a couple of other debates you've engaged yourself in on behalf of the people of Electoral District 4 in Nimba County? And then you care to name a few of them?
Yeah, so some of those debates that I participated in or made contribution to, one of the most recent one was the issue of the regulation affecting the motorcyclist. I know right now somebody will say it's not in your district, it's in Morovia, but I have a lot of citizens from my district that are also here riding motorbikes. So one of my concern when we invited the Minister of Transport was the issue of the license, I don't know, I should say license or ID card fees that they currently charge the motorbike riders. Imagine somebody who is struggling to make life, and something like motorbike.
Were you debating in line with the separation of powers?
Of course.
Okay.
So my debate, it was actually a suggestion to them that when he said that they're currently charging the motorbike rider $35 per license, I saw that it was just very too much for them, and it was going to cause the regulation not to be effective. And the minister assured us that time that they were working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to make sure that they adjust that fee at least to $25.
And that took place.
He had not come back to tell us whether that has happened, or we need to also hear from the public whether that has happened or not.
Okay.
And some of our contribution have also been a communication coming from one of our colleagues from Grand Bassa when he put forth in a bill to establish a agriculture bank, which we think it was necessary because right now we keep talking about agriculture. Agriculture is the fulcrum of our country, but yet we see limited, efforts being made in that direction. So I feel that those kind of institutions will help our people out there tomorrow to get access to funding in order to carry on substantial farming and even commercial some of their activities.
Are you talking about Representative Flomo from Electoral District 4?
Yeah, I
Grand
think
Bassa.
I think it was Representative Flomo from Grand Bassa.
I saw you also understand.
So I supported that idea.
I saw you understand also during the technical vocational education debate that was being introduced by Manseah District number 14 Honorable Munka Kamara, and then co-sponsored by Honorable Anthony Williams of Plebo Sodikin. And you being a very young man, and most time not everybody will do academic, but basically vocational education seemed to be more like cutting the cross. That's all you understand.
Oh yeah, I also supported that debate, that instrument, because like I said in one of our forums, is that not everybody will have the opportunity to acquire academic, degree. And I can personally, sometimes I discourage people at certain age to say, I want to go at a university to get a degree. Sometimes it's not necessary. You can go, maybe somebody who is currently at age
But
of
somebody
40.
says not too old to learn though.
Yeah, it's not too old to learn, but considering our society, everybody is doing these things right now to get to survive. Okay. So you are maybe at 45, 40, and then you want to go and start university education by this time.
Yeah,
You go spend
you'll be 49 years old and you
you go
graduate.
spend 6-7 years at the University of Liberia to just get a BSc, and then later on you have to maybe spend another 6 months or 1 year to get a job. I would advise you to go to a vocational school where you can get hands-on training, and immediately you're able to sustain yourself and support your family.
Nimba County District Number 4 representative is our guest this evening on the program today in the House of Representatives, and we're talking about his legislative work up Capitol Hill. He saw it differently. Now in it it's a different ball game. We want to run straight in the district now and to know how District Number 4 Nimba County looks like, and how the people are faring since you got elected.
Yeah, so our people are doing well. We don't have no trouble in our district, and everything is basically on course. Right after the election, what we did was we had 2 minute agitation all over in the district.
Right.
So, and people who voted us, they expected us that we should go back to them to tell them thank you. So, and even people
Have you
who
done so?
participated in the election with us, some of them felt disenchanted with the way things went. So, what we did as our first step to bring the district together was to call for a Thanksgiving and Peace and Reconciliation program, which we did sometime in April, where we call all of the participants of the election and all the citizens of the district, and we gather at the district headquarters. We have a very big program, and we also carry on groundbreaking during that program. Groundbreaking of a guest house at our district headquarters. We also broke ground.
So you're Vero district headquarters now.
Yeah, our district is one of the remotest districts in Nimba, let me say. So we don't have no city right now as we speak. So we have one area that we
Like
call
District 5 is Buyao District. District
Booyah.
Number
So
4
District
is
Toa River.
Tua River.
So the headquarters of that district is Gapley town. So right now, if you get to Gapley, we only have a high school, no government health facility, no police station, nothing at the county, no guest house.
And people are living kind.
Yeah, people are living calm, but again, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like in terms of security, right now you got people flying all over the community with drugs. Those things we never saw it happening yesterday. So we decided that okay, since we have this district headquarters and nothing is there now, what we did is right now we are building a modern guest house there. We also broke ground for the police station.
Is it for the district or is it
For
your
the
business?
district, the district, for the community. Not everything we do there right now is nothing in our personal name.
Are you also looking at, as we talk about security, to have a police station there? Because I know the population is growing.
So that's what I was saying. During that particular program, we also broke ground.
For a police station?
For a police station. We invited the security apparatus of Nimba, and they were fully represented, and we showed them our plan, the design for the project, and they really welcomed that, and they are working with us seriously to get that project implemented. We don't want to wait for the government,
national
to say,
government.
Okay, wait next year, we'll put it into the budget. We want to build a structure, give it to them, and then they can provide our people just the manpower.
Okay, that's wonderful. And so you just mentioned that there were a lot of agitation after the electoral process. Have you reached out to some of those you contested with, especially also the then incumbent former representative Gagon?
Gagon. Yeah. So after the election, in all sincerity, on Rokago and I, we have met on several different occasions. During the start of the county meet, we met in Sanikole. We shook hands. During one other program in Nimba, we also met. We shook hands, but we are not sat to personally talk. He's somebody that I think it's still a little bit too soon. Reconciliation takes time. I've written him, texted him on several occasions.
But you still look to do that because you are a leader now.
Of course. Like I keep saying, I have no enemy in the district. The thing about election is that everyone right. Right? You who get elected is just the word of the people. So nobody should consider that when I'm in power, nobody should contest against me. Or when I lost the power, it means somebody had gone against me. It's just the word of the people. At a point in time, the people want certain thing to happen.
So as a leader as you are now, you open your arms to everybody.
Of course, we open our arms to everyone. And in fact, all those who participated in the election, majority of them visited offer everything. And we are looking all over around sometimes
for opportunities
to find some opportunity for some of that.
It's good to hear about peace and reconciliation in electoral district number 4, Nimba County. But what are your priorities in terms of development?
My priority in terms of development, like I've been saying, my agenda, the first items on my agenda in terms of development for my people is the issue of human capacity building, if we can say, on education.
Right.
I feel that we can build a town hall, we can build the guest houses, but when the minds of the people is not developed, you have not done anything yet. So I take that very personally, and we have been making a lot of efforts in that regard to see that we help some young people to be like us too tomorrow. Because we will not be in this position all of the time. I may decide to leave today to leave tomorrow, but when I leave, who is the next person coming to make sure that, yes, some of those things that will benefit our people, you carry on. So we have been working on that very seriously. And right now, as we speak, right after the election, we sent about 8 students from the district to Rwanda that are currently studying there.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so, and we have been making a lot of financial contributions, at the same time talking with some government entity and institution to make sure that, yes, our education system is being improved. During the campaign, one of the things that came to my mind, and I wish to introduce that, is I call it less than 1 mile distant. The less than 1 mile distant policy that I want to implement in my district is that you have different villages, across the district, and we don't want any child to walk maybe from one village with more than 1 mile to another village before they can access education or before they can get school. So we wish to implement that. I know it's going to be difficult, but it's something that at least by the end of the 6 years, no community in my district
will be without a school.
At least.
That's
wherein you will have less than 1 mile. Every child of that community will not walk with more than 1 mile before they can access
agriculture, health.
Yes. So we
road connectivity.
Yes. Road connectivity is our biggest challenge right now in the district. I see education is our priority, but sometimes it's not too difficult to tackle. If I had 10,000 here today, I can divide books and improve a lot of things when it comes to the education sector. But with the roads, it's very, very challenging because it requires a lot of resources to do so. So quite recently, the Ministry of Education, let me say Ministry of Agriculture, not public work, but Ministry of Agriculture, because if you see, my district is one of the areas that you have all the cocos in this country coming from.
Wow.
So I've gone there to let them know that this place, with all the cocoa you see, Liberia produce cocoa, it's coming from my district.
Yeah, and so then we're not producing chocolate.
We're not producing chocolate. That's another aspect of the discussion. So what my point has been that we need to improve the livelihood of our people, at least by incorporating some of those roads in the district that the people use to transport their produce.
Right, farm to market road.
Right. And my understanding is that there are some, I don't know, it's a government entity or NGO, IFA, that have been rehabilitating some roads over there. So I've gone to negotiate if some of those roads can be included in the next IFA project in my district. So we have been making some effort in that regard to make sure that, yes, our people have access to road.
Honorable, this final question, then we'll open the lines to interact with the public. During the recently passed budget, many of you debated to make sure that we have direct grassroots development for our people. And so on the basis of that, the Joint Legislative Committee on Ways, Means and Finance infused in that budget 100,000 each for the district. How you intend, District number 4, how do you intend to use the 100,000 for district development?
Yeah, so we are aware about that, and we also have made some previous proposal to LACE. As you may be aware, that money is not coming into the
absolutely.
Right. It's LACE who going to implement the project, and our responsibility there is to just do the proposal and monitor them and make sure that, yes, it works. So quite recently, after we made proposals of few guest houses, because my district comprised of 3 administrative districts. So my idea has been at least to get some kind of little infrastructure in those places that represent a headquarter of our administrative district. So for that, I proposed some, I call it guest house project. But last week, Wednesday, I've gone to have my first district, report, and we allowed the people to make their proposal.
So they yet to make a decision on?
No, they have made a decision. They have made a decision. Some of them speak to the same guest house project. Some of them said, no, we want this. So what we're going to do now, between now and Monday, what we need to do is to write lists, to modify some of those projects to make sure that it suits the need of our people.
Right, but the will of the people prevails.
Oh, of course.
Folks, so this is the program today in the House of Representatives. We have Nimba County Electoral District 4 representative here with us as our guest, Honorable Ernest and Manseah. He's our guest right here on the program. We're going to open the lines now, interact with you. The callers, you want to ask some questions. The numbers are 0880514096. 0880514096. We're hoping to have the orange number and we'll be able to announce that. 0880514096. As soon as we lay hands on the orange number, line 2, we will be able to do that. But the number 0880514096. Call us to be a part, ask your question. Honorable Manseah is here with us, and he's answering all the questions relative to development within his district, and of course, with up Capitol Hill, joining the debate of Capitol Hill, his colleagues. Do we have call right there on the line? 0880514096. Alternatively, you can call us on 0770259660 to also be a part of the conversation. Ask your question, those concerns you have, go ahead and put them through right here on the program. Let's take on this person joining us. Great time to have you. Hello. I'm doing okay. Tell us your name, where you come from.
Okay, my name is Moses Slevin, and I joined from district number 6. Let me first appreciate.
District number 6, what county?
Manseah County.
Please, yeah, please go ahead.
All right. Let me appreciate the government for the fast started and the other people of Nimba. And one often I was the people, I love these honorable people that actually in the interest of the people and not just party things. And I follow him every day in our watching live. And thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you for your hard work, continuous. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Well, thanks a lot. More of the calls right here. This person hit the line. Hello.
Thank you, Brother Robert. Good evening, and good evening to your guests in the studio.
Let's hear your name, where you're joining us from.
My name is Hussein Kerwood, and I call from around Jacob County District 2, where Cebu County represents.
Go ahead from District 2.
Okay, thank you. I listened to your guest in the studio. Let me say many thank you to him for his deliberation. But I have key interest in the House of Representatives on today vote, not only to summon the finance minister of the Republic of Liberia, but I want to have serious disagreement with such decision. And let me say this. Now, we are all aware that the finance minister is the minister who represents the government in terms of finances. Now, the minister in recent times has had several engagements. Now, on today, with the IMF delegations that came to Liberia, 2 other weeks, the minister has not been sitting in finance ministry. He has been having engagement with international partners. Yeah, we have the representatives that were complaining they didn't have money for the Ministry of Finance for their retreat. So how do you think the minister is going to generate money for the government? And you just having contempt charge in all the places, the finance minister being charged for contempt. I think that's been unfair. You have to get the minister chance. The only disagreement I would have with the minister, if he has not sent representation there, under the deputy minister or the controller general, then I would have problem. But if he sent representative,
He did not send anybody, my dear brother. That's the reason why you don't just make statement like that. You have to be following. This minister was invited on 3 separate occasions.
On 4 occasions.
Yeah, and then in fact today will make it 4 because there is no job that is important in doing the work of the Liberian people, even at Congress. Where do the IMF people come from? When they are cited by Congress, they will go there first. And all other appointments will wait. What are you talking about? You see, let's go back to the line, take more of the calls right here. This person join us. Hello?
yeah, this is Bremen Johnson from District 4.
District number, Mama, you'll be calling your county and the number of the district, young boy. Yeah, but he's scared to talk that.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Please go ahead because the men are in the studio come from district number 4 too, but he come from Nimba.
Okay. So, Honorable, thank you and courage the message to just give. Now, related to what the previous caller just called on, I think most of the time we look at the workings of the legislature, especially from our representatives, looking at what happened with the commerce minister a few times. The way they can handle the ministers is not fair, actually. The It can come with so much, hate or they're going to happen with the comment minister. So the amount of important visitors that in the country to that finance minister. If you went down there, they're going to be already go to the work, content, and all kind of things. Those are some of the things. But they need to slow down the House of Representatives.
The House will not slow down. The House is doing her work. You will be the simple who will say, oh, the project over there ain't doing nothing. You must be following the thing here. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your studio guest. I am Evan Wister and I do join you from GSA Road District number 6.
Please go ahead.
Okay, let me say good afternoon again to Honorable Ernest Manseah. Let me say thank you for your excellency as representative for the people of Nimba. I have one advice for you. Please, as you enter the house to do the Liberian people job, any bill that is placed before you or any concession agreement placed before you, once it is not in the interest of the Liberian people, reject that particular bill. But once it is in the interest of the Liberian people, please sign onto it. That is the best thing that you can do for the people of Liberia, to give them a good concession agreement and make good law for them. Please, this is my advice to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, my dear brother. You're listening to that. And we'll take more of the concerns from you, dear callers. This person, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear you.
My name is Joseph.
Please go ahead.
Okay, I want to honorable to please clear my doubt.
What are you calling for? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Until you come off the line.
Oh my God. Yes. So 08805140996 Representative Ernest Manseah is here with us on this evening, and we're talking about his legislative work. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Let's hear you. Your name? Where are you joining us from?
This is Bill Mambia speaking from Johnsonville.
Okay, please go ahead from Johnsonville.
Yeah, I want to say good evening to our honorable from District number 4, Nimba County.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, it seems like the network is getting in some trouble right there, but let's take on this person joining us. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, welcome to the program. Let's hear you.
Thank you very kindly. My name is Jamel Kudi, and I join you from Capital Meeting this evening.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to commend the honorable and also to give the flower to men, as he said, when he or she is alive, and to also commend you, Dr. Bauer Haynes, for elevating the communication bureau of the House of Representatives. The honorable has said it, and the public is listening, and I want to commend you because you have been able to bring the house to the people. For the past months, all year you took over as director, and we have been in public sector communication. We are following. This is the first of the kind to see the public affairs office bringing the house to the people. For example, the circulars. For example, the show you host every time on Tuesday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I think so. I just want to commend you, and I want to give you a flower because you have been a very dear brother in the media, and you have proven that not just to write a press release, but also to come to the people and explain to the people what the house is doing for the Liberian people. I want to say thank you, and I hope you and your team will try to elevate it to more.
Well, thanks a lot, my dear brother Jamel Kuli, there calling us. And so we will stop right here now with the calls and come back to Representative Manseah. You listen to the concerns coming up from the callers. Somebody said when anything negative, not in the interest of the people, do not vote for it, you should reject it. So you listen to more of the concerns coming up. But my dear brother who called about the Minister of Finance, the gentleman on 4 occasions he been invited. There is absolutely no work that supersedes the work of the people. We cannot have everybody to the Capitol building. That's the reason why on the 10th of October, people stood in queue, long queue to elect their representatives and senators. So the host represents the people of Liberia. And when the people call you, you need to go out to show up. And all of these times he was invited, he didn't show up. He didn't even send any of his deputies. So that was being branded as being disrespectful. That's why now he's under contempt. So it's not unfair, yeah. Let's come to you, Honorable. You listen to the concerns by the callers.
Yeah, so thank you, Mr. Hayes. Just to speak to that matter briefly, I think the young man who just called, or the guy who called, he ended his statement by saying, if you were the finance minister had not sent anybody, he was going to have issue with us. So I think he should not have issue with us because the finance minister did not also send anybody.
Right.
So at least if any of those principal deputies have come to say, okay, we're sorry, and for so reason we cannot appear, or the minister cannot appear, and let us to reject the person or not. But like you said, on 4 different occasions today, making it the fourth one, the finance minister have always given excuse. And again, there is nothing that is more important than the work of the people. So if you are there today, you have the IMF. If you look at no Liberia, there are going to be no IMF coming here. So it is the people who have sent us there. And we needed to understand what is going on in terms of our revenue, in terms of whether we having revenue, let me say the budget is performing or it's not performing. These are information that our people would want to know.
Right.
Because there is a clinic way in my district called Baivonwe. I want to know whether there is money in the budget that we can start going to the finance minister to see how they can do the disbursement.
Right.
And many other areas. So I don't think the decision of the House today was meant in any way that we hit a particular person. There are some of us who supported the rescue mission, and sometimes we have to defend our ministers. But again, when you disrespect all of us together, it has nothing to do with party. It has to do with the country.
Right.
So that is it that I want to talk about on the issue of the finance minister. I don't think there was any major concern raised from all of the callers.
Well, for some people who trust
some of them made recommendations in the form of advice that we should not sign on anything that is not in the interest of the people. So to you, my dear brother, this we can say to the public that we have not gone there for ourselves, and we have not gone there to just sign. We have gone there to represent the people, and whatever that seek to improve the livelihood of our people is what we are there for. So it's true we will not do all, but we will make every little effort and put our expertise on the land there for the benefit of our people. Like you mentioned on the issue of concessions. I'm one person who also comes from that background. I have been working with the Ministry of Mines and Energy as one of the directors before coming to the Capitol building. So I have a very good knowledge about concessions and how things have been handled. I think from my opening statement, that was one of the things that I commented on, that we sign concession agreement in this country. We sign laws that affect the people when we have no participation of the people. So we have come to change things around. We hope that the leadership and our colleagues sometime we will work together to make sure that we improve the livelihood of our people and the country at large. So basically, I think these were some of the major things that were said.
Well, is there something we didn't touch you want to just finally say to your people listening to you?
Yeah, so one of the things I will also want to emphasize on is that I know we touched it briefly, but the issue of working with everyone in the district to move the district forward. Our arms are open, and whatever decision we'll be making, it will always be in consultation with our people, and our arms are open to work with everyone, whether you're from the district or you're not from the district. Once there is a good idea and suggestions that is feasible to work with, obviously we're going to make sure that we incorporate some of those suggestions to make sure that our leadership it leaves a legacy that tomorrow, even when we are not there, that our legacy is going to speak for us.
Well, thanks a lot, Representative Ernest and Manseah there of our Nimba County Electoral District number 4. It's been a great time here today on the show. We'll look to have you another time again to discuss more on some of your issues that you do. Quick before we leave you, the House of Representatives is reviewing a bill seeking to establish the African Court on Human and People's Rights, and it was submitted today from the office of the President, His Excellency President Joseph N. Boakai Sr. And so the House have forwarded that to the committees the committees on judiciary, good governance, and human rights to be able to review that and for legislative action in a period of 2 weeks to report to plenary. My name is Rapport Hins. I've been here along with Terry Hukwa. We're back here on Thursday. Have yourself a God bless evening. Bye bye.